cabled again. That was the decision by Londonderry Township's Board of Supervisors when it comes to whether to change their zoning rules to put in an AI data center. Last night's public hearing was continued to a future date. The township manager telling News 8 that the board and staff will conduct more research on the concerns raised by residents at last night's meeting. The township will share any future hearing and meeting dates.
All right, let's take a look at traffic right now as we travel across the Susquehanna River. Let's start Susquehanna Valley, excuse me. Let's start in York. If we zoom in there, you can see Route 30, not too bad through the light cycles there, pretty good to go. We're traveling over to Lancaster next. You can see a lot of congestion on 30 east and westbound going through the county there, so that's going to be a little heavy tonight. Harrisburg, you're looking at some heavy traffic on 93 across the South Bridge, and over on the West Shore, you can see a crash there just north of Carlisle. This is on northbound lanes of 81, right before the exit 52A. That's for Route 11. And we have drive times for you. Slowest ride tonight, that's going to be Harrisburg to Lebanon. You're looking at 48 minutes, 46 Harrisburg to Lancaster, and you're fine if your drive takes you from Harrisburg to York.
This has been a Lancaster Toyota traffic report.
Pennsylvania's capital is among communities holding National Night Out events tonight, with Harrisburg City Police planning to meet with neighbors.
And Tom Lehman's live with the festivities that are set to get underway in the next half hour, Tom.
Yeah, Laurie, about 15 minutes or so, we're really expecting this to kick off. But I'll tell you, the DJ already has the music blasting right now. I'm sure you can hear it behind me. But you know what? We're getting to dinner time. A lot of people want to come out and get something to eat. We have a lot of food trucks that are already lined up here along Walnut Street in downtown Harrisburg, right outside of Strawberry Square. They got pretty much anything you can want, from empanadas to funnel cakes. So certainly there are a lot of fun things you can do if you want to come out. But we're actually going to go inside, because I do want to tell you there are a lot of different events and things that are happening at this National Night Out event here in Harrisburg today. Among those things that are happening are a lot of different vendors participating. Certainly the focus of this event is if you want to have kids and families get to know their public safety leaders and officials here in the Harrisburg area. They're going to be able to show up here and get all sorts of free goodies, a lot of bags, cups, bubbles, signs, pretty much anything you might want to have for a fun summer night like tonight. But there's a lot of music, a lot of face painting and other things like magicians that are going to be happening here at this event today. Certainly a lot of different fun activities for the family if you want to come out for this event. Certainly if you look here in Strawberry Square, you see a lot of people already coming out. There's a band in here that is also getting ready to start performing here shortly. So a lot of fun. There's also a downtown parking special tonight, free parking if you're coming out to the area. Again, the event getting started at 5:30, runs till 8 tonight here in Harrisburg. Reporting live in Harrisburg, Tom Lehman, News 8.
Now the WGAL News 8 Storm Team forecast with meteorologist Mike Susko.
And good evening. If you're heading out this evening, why not? We're going to be seeing those temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s across the Susquehanna Valley, including here in Carlisle. Now, we do have a little bit of a hazy sky because of that wildfire smoke from Canada, and that's also leading to poor air quality. So just be aware of that if you have heart and lung conditions. But otherwise, to this evening, you should be good to go. 85 in Carlisle right now. Winds out of the southeast around 10 miles per hour. So what we can expect is for that air quality alert to continue until midnight for the entire Susquehanna Valley. Again, it's mainly for sensitive groups here, small children, the elderly, those of you with heart and lung conditions here as we go through the next several hours. And you can see that air quality alert continuing there through the entire region for midnight tonight. And as we look at the air quality at the moment, it does look like Carlisle, Harrisburg, and also the sensor just out to the east of Harrisburg near there as you head towards maybe Palmyra. That is where we're seeing the poor air quality right now being detected. Everyone else is in the yellow or the moderate range at the moment. And this is why we have the smoke coming through at the moment. And as we put this into motion, you can see that does stick around this evening and as we head into Wednesday. Wednesday's concentration, though, at least at the surface, should be less intense. So therefore, we do not expect that poor air quality to continue tomorrow. So that's an improvement. That'll be good news for your Wednesday. Thursday, we'll be seeing the smoke again here. Most of this high up in the atmosphere, leading to that milky sky, but again, does not look like a lot of it makes its way down to the surface at this point. So that is good news there for Thursday as well. Your weather and health for tomorrow: pollen levels moderate, mold levels are low, air quality will be moderate as well, with the UV index on the low side tomorrow because of the smoke and the clouds helping to keep things low there. 84 in Harrisburg at the moment, 83 in Lancaster, it's 87 in Lebanon, and 81 in York there in York County. You're heading to Hershey Park for the Chris Brown concert tonight. Temperatures will be right around 78 at 8 o'clock here, and then dropping back into the mid-70s at around 10 o'clock as things are wrapping up there. But it does look like it stays dry throughout the evening. And then tonight, mostly cloudy. We have some haze. It's going to be a little sticky out there. You step outside, you can feel that humidity already. That continues into this evening and overnight tonight. Tomorrow, a stray shower not out of the question, but temperatures will be in the low 80s, so a little bit below average actually for this time of year. And when we look at Storm Team Live Radar Network, we're quiet right now, but that rain is just to the south there in parts of Virginia and Maryland and Delaware, and it stays there as we go through your Tuesday evening. So let's put this into motion. We have tonight, it's a little bit cloudy, hazy, but it is dry. As we head into Wednesday morning, it's cloudy, again dry though. As we head into the afternoon, right around that 5-6 o'clock hour, you see a few of those specks there trying to form up on the radar. So maybe for 15 minutes you get a shower in some places, and that's it. As we go through tomorrow, it's not going to be much at all. On Thursday, we start off similar, dry on Thursday morning. Here maybe even some sunshine, but then in the afternoon, this time a little bit earlier in the day, around 2-3 o'clock, we start seeing a few pop-up showers trying to form there. Again, 15 minutes, and then it's out of here as we head into wet Thursday. So Wednesday and Thursday, if you want to head outside, maybe hit the pools or anything, you're good to go with that. Again, straight shower, not out of the question, but most of us are dry. Friday, everybody's going to have a pretty nice day. It's comfortable with a mostly sunny sky. That's also when I think that wildfire smoke moves out of the area as well. Saturday, 86 degrees and seasonal for the start of the weekend. And it does look like Sunday, a few thunderstorm chances later in the evening possible there towards the end of the weekend. And then we get hot and humid once again, reminding us that it is middle of August next week, guys.
Yes, it is. All right, sports is next on News 8 at 5.
This is one of the nights I wish you could see what goes on behind the scenes here. These two over here singing and dancing. What are you doing?
Well, Chris Brown's in concert in Hershey, so
okay.
Lori was regaling us
I
with
like
some of his top
music.
hits.
Yeah.
That Phillies game last night, very exciting.
It was very good. We should just have your mic up next time, Lori. How about that? All right, Kyle Schwarber may be the fastest Philly to reach 40 home runs in history. Find out, though, which Hall of Fame nomination the slugger had to turn down. Plus, Eagles, Raiders make a trade, and the Ravens host the Colts today for training camp. The headlines in the NFL, next in sports.
All right, off to Wall Street we go, and checking the stock market here. Everything was down from all those gains we saw yesterday. Dow down 62, Nasdaq falling 137, the S&P 500 down 30.
Now, WGAL News 8 Sports, powered by Xfinity.
Well, the Eagles and Raiders were busy late last night as the two teams initiated a trade. Las Vegas trading Jacorian Bennett to Philadelphia for Thomas Booker IV. Booker gives the Raiders a boost on the D-line after the team lost Christian Wilkins. He had 18 tackles and a sack for the Birds. Meanwhile, Bennett will look to battle for a starting spot at corner for the Birds. He's already joined the Eagles today at training camp. He's set to wear number 49. Down in Owings Mills, the Ravens and Colts participating in joint practice today ahead of the two teams' preseason matchup on Thursday night. It is the one and only time that the Baltimore and Indianapolis starters will see live action against another defense. Both teams had some meaningful reps ahead of Thursday.
It was good competition. I feel like we got better today, which is good to be out there with a different team, just get different looks. So, yeah, I feel good today.
Well, don't forget, WGAL is your home for the Baltimore Ravens this NFL preseason. You can watch the Colts and Ravens go head-to-head. Thursday night coverage begins at 7 o'clock. Well, on the diamond, the Phillies continued the team's winning ways on Monday night, dominating the Orioles in a 13-3 season opener. Now, that win had a lot to do with this guy. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs in the victory, but none bigger than this grand slam in the 6th that just so happened to be his 40th home run of the season. Schwarber is the fastest player in Phillies history to reach that 40 home run mark. He beat out Ryan Howard by just 2 games. Well, because of that, Schwarber may have a spot in the Baseball Hall of Fame in his future, especially after last night's big performance, but he's actually denying a request to join his college alma mater's Hall of Fame. Why? He can't go to the ceremony. He's got a game to play in that day. Indiana University's Athletics Hall of Fame does require all living inductees to attend the ceremony. That is on September 5th. That's also the day that Schwarber and the Phils will be in Miami to play the Marlins. So he is forced to skip out for now, of course. Schwarber was selected in his first year of eligibility. He did lead the Hoosiers to 2 Big Ten regular season and tournament titles. You hate to see him deny it, but hey.
I know.
Come on, Indiana.
He's got some home runs to hit.
Come on.
I know.
He's got work to do.
He does. Those
right.
Hoosiers.
Yeah. Did we agree to that?
Yes,
A
we
lot
did.
more to come on News 8 at 5:30. The Baltimore Ravens are deep into training camp, but the team is also offering some training for the mental side of things. How they're trying to reach out to young people.
We all been wondering about it. It's like, what's been going on and like, who was it? You know, we just never know.
Yeah, closure for the ones who remember a 1972 murder case with a young victim never being identified. That is until now. How they solved the case with Pennsylvania ties.
An international car manufacturer sued for their alleged role in the Baltimore Key Bridge collapse. Why Hyundai is now getting dragged into a legal web of accusations.
This is coverage you can count on. WGAL News 8 at 5:30 starts now.
A cold case involving the death of a 4-year-old boy with ties to Pennsylvania may now be solved after 5 decades. Thanks for staying with us for News 8 at 5:30. I'm Brian Roach.
And I'm Lori Burkholder. Police say the little boy's mother and her partner were traveling from Philadelphia to Virginia in June of 1972. But the boy, Carl, and his 6-month-old little brother were never heard from again. After years of interviews with family members and DNA testing, well, Jerry Gish is here with a new conclusion, Jer.
Yeah, this is really interesting, guys. It was through that genetic lab testing that they were able to identify the body of 4-year-old Carl Bryant. He was found in June of 1972 in a creek in Lorton. That's an area south of Richmond, Virginia, just off of Interstate 95, which runs straight from Philadelphia. His cause of death was ruled to be blunt force trauma. Several efforts were made to get tips from the public on a possible identity for the boy, but there were no viable leads. That is, until this week.
Based on the fact that the couple left with children and arrived without them, they never made a report of any kids being missing. We believe that both boys may have been murdered on June 13, 1972, between Pennsylvania and Virginia.
Investigators believe Carl's mother, Vera, and her boyfriend, James Hedgepeth, were involved in Carl's murder and that Carl's infant brother, James, was killed around the same time. The parents have both since passed away. The killings are believed to have occurred somewhere between Philadelphia and Middlesex County, Virginia. And the only reason all this evidence was able to be analyzed was because another detective decided to save some strands of hair 53 years ago.
When we opened the package, it was literally little specks, like razor stubble. And so the lab, Estrella in California, had said that normally they require at least 2 centimeters of hair to do testing. And I said, well, I don't know if I even have 2 millimeters of hair to send you. And they said, well, send it anyway. We'll see what we can do.
Meanwhile, people who live near the creek where Carl's body was found are still looking for answers and closure.
We all been wondering about it. It's like, what's been going on and like, who was it? You know, we just never knew. We just thought it was somebody from D.C., Alexander or something, you know what I mean?
Now, Carl's original headstone has been lost to time. Detectives are now working to install a memorial bench with his name near his burial site. As for his 6-month-old brother, police believe his body could have been discarded somewhere along the route to Virginia. To this day, his remains have not been found. Lori, back to you.
Wow, what a story. All right, thank you, Jerry. Well, the impacts from that Canadian wildfire smoke continue tonight in the Susquehanna Valley, especially in communities like Harrisburg.
You see our camera moving there. We're trying to get you a nice shot of the weather. I believe that is in Harrisburg. Yes, it is. Meteorologist Mike Susko is here with our first check of the storm team forecast, along with the moving camera.
Yeah, guys, when we take a look here at the forecast for the next couple of days here, but especially this evening, we have that air quality that is unfortunately in the poor category, that orange in Harrisburg and really the surrounding areas now. It's really starting to expand in parts of Perry and Cumberland County, as well as Juniata County, even starting to see a little bit pop up now in parts of central Lancaster County. With this. So we are continuing to see, unfortunately, that air quality go down, including here in Hershey, where you may be heading out to the concert tonight. And if you are, just be aware that it will be dry, but you will have to deal with the hazy sky out there as we go through this evening. Here's a look at the forecast for the concert. Temperatures right around 80 degrees throughout the event here, and then eventually dropping into the mid-70s once things are wrapping up around 10 o'clock. 84 is the current temperature in the capital, 87 in Lebanon, and 83 in Lancaster, 85 for Carlisle, and 84 in Gettysburg. Storm Team Light Radar Network is quiet and zooming on out. We have a few showers to our west. They will stay there. And also the rain to the south that you see near Ocean City, Maryland. That is all out of there and staying there as well as we go through this evening. So we'll continue to see those temperatures drop back to around 66 overnight tonight. The haze sticks around tonight and also for tomorrow with some more smoke in the air. So you'll continue to see that hazy sky. Can't rule out a stray shower tomorrow. We'll show the future radar and also when the heat and humidity will make a return coming up here in just a little bit.
Thank you, Mike. New tonight, a man is accused of trying to steal a log splitter from a tractor supply company, or tractor supply store, I should say, in Chambersburg, Franklin County, with a teenager found to be behind the wheel of the planned getaway car. This happened August 4th at the location on Lincoln Way East in Guilford Township, just about 5:30 in the morning. Troopers say Reginald Johnson was attempting to hook that log splitter up to the hitch of his truck. That's when police say he ran toward the trees, with troopers needing to tase him to take him down. State police add that they then found a 14-year-old behind the wheel of the truck. That minor was released to a relative's custody. Johnson is charged with felony retail theft and corruption of minors. Chambersburg police are also looking for whoever smashed the windows of a business. This happened, according to investigators, in the 1000 block of Main Street sometime between July 18th and July 21st. Anyone with information on who could have done this is asked to contact the Chambersburg police.
And staying in Franklin County, a man is facing charges for firing shots into the air during an argument. Logan Glass is charged in this incident from last Wednesday at a home on Snives Lane in Letterkenny Township. State troopers say that Glass and another man had been arguing when he fired 2 shots in the air from a 9mm handgun. Charging documents saying Glass did it to alleviate his anger. No one was struck. When troopers arrived to the scene, they found Glass in the basement and took him into custody without incident.
A team of Pennsylvania firefighters' quick thinking saved the life of an infant. According to the North Fayette Township Volunteer Fire Department, the deputy chief was walking outside the main station when he noticed an unknown car in the parking lot. A panicked mother came out and said her baby was choking and needed help. Well, the chief got the help, and another firefighter was able to get the baby breathing normally again using some back blows. The baby was taken to the hospital for further evaluation and is expected to be okay.
Well, when it comes to young athletes, physical health is, of course, important, but so is their mental well-being. Right now, the Baltimore Ravens are holding their 2nd annual mental health training camp at M&T Bank Stadium. This guides athletic trainers and coaches on how to support student athletes. That includes how to spot signs of emotional stress.
We also have kids that are just struggling overall in terms of anxiety and depression. The person that they trust the most is actually their coach, and this is a great way to get them to get help from people that they trust and adults in their lives who are doing very positive things.
And of those in attendance, they say they walked away with a better understanding of how to foster a healthier athletic culture for youth.
Now for a check of our Tuesday evening commute, we're going to start first of all in York, and usual slowdowns through the light cycles, nothing unusual there. Also some slowing along Mount Zion Road 24 over in Lancaster County, usual volume in the usual places, but no accidents to talk about. We move up to the Harrisburg area and we have an accident here. This is on 83 southbound near the exit for 83 south to the Pennsylvania Turnpike. There's a lane restriction. Mike, let's go to the left here to the west. I believe there's an accident over here on 81 as well. We can't move that apparently, and I'll tell you about it here. It's just out of our screen. It's on 81 northbound, about 2 miles south of exit 52. That's for New Kingston, and there's a lane restriction there. And some drive times. Harrisburg to Lebanon, that's in the red. 50 minutes right now to go from point A to point B. 40 minutes to go from the capital to Lancaster. 20 minutes to go south from the capital to York.
This has been a Lancaster Toyota traffic report.
President Trump is ramping up his plan for pharmaceutical tariffs. I'm Jackie DeFusco with the White House with what it could mean for your health care.
And a controversial gas pipeline plan through Pennsylvania canceled 5 years ago, now seeing new life. Which state governor is putting their full support behind a revival?
Here's a look at today's lottery winners.
tremendous drop in drug prices. You know, we've cut drug prices by 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500%. I don't mean 50%, I mean 1,400, 1,500%.
Interesting math. That was the president speaking this weekend in Allentown, saying the drug prices are down 1,500%. We should note that if that were true, drug companies would actually be paying consumers like you. But the administration continues to double down, threatening to impose tariffs up to 250% on pharmaceuticals.
Washington correspondent Jackie DeFusco joins us now live. So, Jackie, how does this compare to the president's past statements?
Hey, Brian, Lori. Yeah, this is the steepest tariff rate that President Trump has teased to date when it comes to pharmaceutical imports. That said, we still don't have an implementation timeline at this point, and the White House tells me that nothing is final. Pharmaceutical tariffs will roll out in phases, President Trump told CNBC on Tuesday.
We'll be putting a initially small tariff on pharmaceuticals, but in 1 year,
President
1.5 years maximum, it's going to go to 150%, and then it's going to go to 250%.
The president wants more drugs made in America, raising concerns that relying too much on foreign countries could be a national security risk.
We realized during COVID that we don't make our drugs and our pharmaceuticals in this country.
But the industry group Pharma argues the plan is counterproductive. A spokesperson writing, quote, "Every dollar spent on tariffs is a dollar that could be used to advance American manufacturing. Adding tariffs can increase costs and lead to shortages."
Well, tariffs are taxes on patients.
Experts tell us that's especially true for generic drugs made in places like India and China. Another major player is the European Union, where pharmaceuticals will be subject to a 15% tariff under a newly announced preliminary trade agreement, potentially impacting products like Botox, the cancer medication Keytruda, and the weight loss drug Ozempic.
In the U.S., there already is a substantial profit margin built into brand name medications that's far higher than the cost of production. So I don't think that there will be as direct an impact on drug prices as it would be for generic drugs.
And all of this comes as President Trump is pursuing another strategy aimed at lowering prescription drug costs. Essentially, the goal is to tie what the U.S. government pays for certain medications to lower prices paid by other developed nations. Brian.
Becky, before you go, the president rolled out his most favored nation policy earlier this year, but now he's ramping up pressure on the drug manufacturers. What's the latest there?
Yeah, Brian, that's right. Just in the last couple of days here, the Trump administration sent out letters to 17 major drug manufacturers, essentially outlining a number of steps that they want them to take to lower prescription drug prices. And in those letters, they warned that if those companies don't comply, the federal government will, quote, deploy every tool in our arsenal to protect American families from what the letter describes as continued abusive drug pricing practices. Now, that expert that I spoke to today for this story said it's still not clear at this point if this policy will actually be effective at lowering prices, particularly because, in part, we don't know how it's going to be enforced exactly. And so that's something we'll continue to watch. The other question mark is, to what degree, if at all, will this impact Americans with private health insurance? Because the government does have much more power to control pricing when it comes to Medicaid and Medicare, for example. Back to you guys.
All right, Jackie DeFusco live in Washington. Thank you. The city of Philadelphia and Baltimore County are being targeted by the federal government as so-called sanctuary jurisdictions by the Department of Justice. In a newly released list, the DOJ identified several states, cities, and counties as having policies, laws, or regulations that they claim impede enforcement of federal immigration laws. Pennsylvania as a whole was not on the list of states, but Philadelphia was listed as a city. The same with Baltimore County, though Maryland was not included. Baltimore County officials said in a statement today they believe their inclusion on this list was an error.
Well, a new lawsuit filed over the Dolly cargo ship's collision into that Baltimore Key Bridge, this time by the ship's owners. Grace Ocean Private, the Dolly's operator, sued Hyundai over the ship's manufacturing. The lawsuit alleges the ship's switchboard had design flaws, and according to the suit, those flaws allowed the ship to lose connections during normal operations. The lawsuit claims that this caused the Dolly to crash into the Francis Scott Key Bridge. The NTSB's report noted the control circuit stopped working the night of the disaster. This is the latest in a slew of lawsuits since that crash. However, most of them have been directed at Grace Ocean Private. Well, the controversial pipeline project involving Pennsylvania could be getting revived. The Constitution Pipeline would link natural gas supplies in the Keystone State to Northeast markets like New York and New England. The 124-mile line was first proposed in 2012, but canceled in 2020 after years